You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN E-mini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things E-mini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, 30th day of March, 2023. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. We do 2 live broadcasts every trading day. Now, the first live broadcast is reserved for members only and those taking our 1-week free trial. If you've never taken your 1-week free trial, you can do so by simply going to mytradingiq.com. Click that button at the top of the page. Doesn't matter what day you start the trial, you'll still get 5 consecutive trading days, not only in the live training room, but you'll be able to use our platforms, our indicators. You'll have access to one-on-one mentoring, the Logi 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts. In fact, on the free trial, you have access to everything that a lifetime member, a passport holder, has access to, except one thing. And that is the members only workshop that happens every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you've been on the trial and you want to be in that workshop tonight, grab your lifetime passport with no recurring fees, no upsells, no new shiny objects to buy from us, ever. Just go here to eminifuturestrading.com. If you have any questions, call us at 949-42-EMINI or just send an email to support@cfrn.net. So when the live training room ends, we take a 30-minute break and we come back at 12 noon Eastern for this broadcast, the afternoon broadcast, which is open to the public. It's everybody, everywhere on planet Earth with an internet-connected device. There's 2 different ways to join this afternoon broadcast. This way, you only have to do this once. Go to mytradingiq.com. Scroll down to where it says Afternoon Broadcast. Click the link, complete the 30-second registration form, and you're done. Every trading day going forward, you'll get an email about an hour before the afternoon broadcast starts. In the email, there's a link. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform, where you'll have access to the question box so you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. But there will be days you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you still want to join the afternoon broadcast live. Just point your browser to our YouTube channel. It's easy to remember. You already know youtube.com/CFRN. That's it. youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every afternoon on our YouTube channel, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there's over 2,200 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. It's also a great way for people who are new to the world of CFRN to get to know who we really are, what we do, how we do it, even why we do it. You can scroll back 6 weeks, 6 months, a year, 2 years, even more. Anybody can say anything today, but what were they thinking and saying a year ago, 2 years ago, even more? Just pick some days at random. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. Just listen in for a few minutes, okay? Over the years, what you'll find, there's a thread of connectivity, a thread of continuity woven through each and every daily broadcast. Now, at 12:40, Michael will join us. He'll do a recap of what happened this morning in the live training room. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern, we will go live on the TradingView platform and do some live trading for about 30 minutes. So be sure and stick around for that. If you're listening after the fact, and that's exactly what you want to see, then you can simply fast forward an hour. Okay? All right. So open with a word of prayer, as we do. Most of you know Easter's just around the corner. But something important happened before Jesus went to the cross. And if you've ever been to a swap meet, you've seen it translated through one of those wonderful velvet. It's hanging right next to the velvet Elvis. It's called the Last Supper. Just days before Jesus' death, he and his disciples gathered together to celebrate the Passover, which is a very important Jewish holiday. Jesus and his disciples ate what we now call the Last Supper and spent time celebrating together. Now, only one person in the room knew this, Jesus. He knew that he would die very soon. So he chose to show his friends just how much they meant to him by serving them in an amazing way. Jesus, the master, the teacher, the rabbi, the Messiah, grabbed a towel and a basin of water, knelt in front of his disciples, and washed their feet. This was a custom of the time for servants to wash visitors' feet when they entered a house. But someone important would never wash anyone else's feet. See, this was before the days of Air Jordans. Everybody wore sandals, and there weren't a lot of paved roads. In fact, there were no paved roads. There were dirt roads. And so you can imagine by the end of the day, your feet were pretty nasty. During this era, people walked most places. There was no Uber. So their feet would be dusty, cracked, caked in dirt. When Jesus washes his friends' feet, he showed them how much he loved them by serving them and humbling himself. Jesus went completely against culture just to show his friends how much he loved and cared about them. After Jesus finished washing everyone's feet, he challenged them to do the same for each other. He set an example of what it looks like to serve and treat others with humility. Now, it's up to us to do the same. So just as Jesus challenged the disciples, I challenge you. How can you serve someone else today? Make a list of ways to actively serve those around you and try to cross off at least one every day. And if you want to take it a little deeper, throughout your day, find ways to actually wash the feet of those around you. Do some tasks that others might avoid or dread. Offer to clean up after the dog, take out the trash without being asked, or even scrub the toilet. Humble yourself and serve someone else today. Our scripture is John 13, verses 1 through 5. And this is from the Message translation. Just before the Passover feast, Jesus knew that the time had come to leave this world to go to the Father. Having loved his dear companions, he continued to love them right to the end. It was supper time. The devil by now had Judas, son of Simon the Iscariot, firmly in his grip, all set for the betrayal. Jesus knew that the Father had put him in complete charge of everything, that he came from God and was on his way back to God. So he got up from the supper table, set aside his robe, and put on an apron. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the feet of the disciples, drying them with his apron. When he got to Simon Peter, Peter said, "Master, you wash my feet?" As a side note, although Jesus knew the deal Judas Iscariot had cooked up for 30 pieces of silver, he washed his feet anyway. Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, as we gather in your presence today, we reflect upon your holy word from the book of John, the verses we just read. We are humbled by the example set before us by your Son, Jesus Christ. We thank you for the profound humility and love that he demonstrated in washing the feet of his disciples. May his selflessness and servitude be imprinted upon our hearts and minds so that we too may follow in his footsteps and serve others with a genuine spirit, love, and compassion. Lord, we ask for your guidance and strength as we seek to live out our faith in practical ways. Help us to be humble and compassionate, to seek the good of others above our own desires, to show grace and forgiveness to those who may wrong us. May the example of your Son, Jesus Christ, inspire us to live a life that glorifies your holy name. We pray for the courage to be obedient to your will, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. Thank you for your unending love and grace that we receive each day. May we continue to grow in faith and knowledge of your Son, Jesus Christ, and the sacrifice he made for us on the cross. It's in his holy and precious name that we believe and pray. And everybody said, amen. Well, amen. All right, happy Thursday. Bound to be a happy Thursday for somebody somewhere. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. I'll start here in the U.S. with cash markets, or the indices as they're called. Currently, the Dow is up 24 points. The NASDAQ is up 73. The S&P 500 is up 15. The Russell 2000, or man in the street, is down 2 points. We'll see who plays follow the leader. In the commodity basket, crude oil is up $1.30, trading 74.28 last. That's a gain of almost 2%. Gold is up $12, trading 19.96 last. Silver up 45 cents, trading 23.92 last. That's a gain of almost 2%. Now, when the price of silver moves $1, that's worth $5,000 per futures contract traded. So with silver up 45 cents, almost 46, that's a gain of almost $2,500 per contract traded. If you're long, if you're short, well, you can do the math. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei dropped 100 points. Shanghai rose 21. The Hang Seng gained 116. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE up 56. The DAX up 193, which is 1.25%. The CAC up 76, which is a little over 1%. So that gave us a mixed day in Asia. The Nikkei being the only one in the red. It was a green day for the UK. And it's a slightly mixed Radio Thursday here in the US of A, with 3 of the major indices in the green, not by a lot, but green nonetheless, and the Russell just barely in red. So let's go to Logic 247. That is our 24/7 around the clock E-mini alert service. We're currently in week 243 since we launched Logic 247. Over those 243 weeks, we've issued over 13,700 individual handcrafted alerts. Entry, initial target, second target, third target, final trade to target. You see, we're not just teaching you how to trade, but if you use these logic alerts properly, then when the alert comes in, there's always time built in for you to study the alert. You can go to the 30-minute chart and see how that alert fits into the market structure. Because our goal is for you to become self-sufficient. You do not want to spend the rest of your life depending upon someone else to tell you when to get in and when to get out. You want to be able to look at the chart of whatever market you choose to trade, and you want to be able to see with your own eyes, without anyone telling you, where the window of opportunity is, so that as price reaches that area, you're ready with your smaller time frame, whether you've chosen the 7-tick range or the 10-tick range or a 5-minute or a 1-minute, whatever smaller time frame you use to actually execute the trade. The more times you do this, the sooner you'll become self-sufficient. Now, since the markets opened Sunday night, this past Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, this recap is valid as of 7 a.m. this morning. Valerie will update it again this afternoon and then later this evening. 38 total alerts issued. 3 never triggered. Still waiting on 6. 29 actionable alerts, of which 2 or 7% would have been stopped out based on not risking more than $300 per contract per trade, less when possible, based on market structure and a simple 3-step process that we teach all of our passport holders in their unlimited one-on-one mentoring sessions. Now again, to clarify, $300 is the maximum you risk, but in order to risk that much, there has to be at least that much profit potential in the trade. If your plan is to jump out with, say, 2 points in the ES, you really shouldn't risk more than 2 points. As a rule, you never risk more than the potential profit in a trade. And with the alerts, you look at the entry price, you look at the final trade to price, and that tells you what the potential profit is in that particular trade alert. Now again, over 243 weeks, over 13,700 individual alerts, we've averaged 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on that risk profile I just gave you. And this week, today being Thursday, we're sitting at 7%. So that's a pretty good week so far. Still got another day to go. Now the logic alerts are based on current price action, but again, there's time built into each alert. You get the alert, study the chart, be prepared to take action as price reaches the entry. But we still have our original alert service, concierge trade alerts. Now they're different in a couple different ways. Number one, they're based on historic price action. When historic price action meets current price action, that's where you'll find some of your best high probability, low risk trade opportunities. The CTAs are published as a static report shortly after the Globex Open each evening. The Thursday session began last night, Wednesday night, at 6 p.m. Eastern. These numbers were published at 6:15. So we were 15 minutes into the session. Every one of our members, every one of our trial members had these numbers. So what do you do with these numbers? Well, we'll use the ES as an example. First thing you do on your 30-minute chart is make note of where price is at the time the report is published. It's always going to be between these two numbers. And then draw a line in the sand at the long target, line in the sand at the short target. Those will serve as great visual cues to keep you on the right side of the street. If the market is trending higher, it's not a good time to be selling. If the market's trending lower, it's not a great time to be buying. Now, if price gets above the 30-minute BBC, that tells you it's attempting to reach the long target. If price gets below the 30-minute BBC, that tells you it's attempting to reach the short target. It's really that simple. Now, on the way to the target, you have to look left. Doesn't matter if you're trading long or short. You look left to see potential obstacles, support, resistance. And over time, once you become a passport holder, you will learn how price behaves around a weekly trading zone, the WTZ. And price is always trying to reach a weekly zone. The zones are published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Published the zones for our members since December 14th of 2009. Once you are firmly acquainted with how price behaves around the weekly zone, they will become one of the most important tools in your trading toolbox. Now here's the hard part. Resist the urge to make it more complicated than that. As long as you know which way the wind is blowing, it's pretty simple to reach your goal for the day. Now again, all members and trial members had these numbers last night at 6:15 p.m. Eastern, but this broadcast is open to the public. So for those of you who did not have these numbers last night, if you want to grab a screenshot, go right ahead, because we're going to walk through each one of these individual markets. Okay, got your screenshot? Very good. We will start with the daily chart, where we always do. The larger the time frame, the more important the information it provides. Now, what we talked about yesterday happened. You were tuned in yesterday, you heard it. If you weren't tuned in yesterday, then go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CFRN, and listen to the beginning of yesterday's broadcast. Price was snuggled up right across the top of this, right up against this upper trend line. I said yesterday, if price can close above this trend line, then the next spot we're going to look for resistance is the 24% fib retracement. Now, we tend to think of fib retracements as being places where the market will find support, like it did at the 38, like it did at the 50. However, it works both ways. When price moves up to that 24% fib retracement, it also serves as resistance. Coming down, support. Moving back up, resistance. I also said that Stefan, who is a great member of the community, shares lots and lots of charts with us each and every day as time permits. He had drawn his trend line a little differently, and I showed it to you yesterday. He went from this high put in on February 2nd, and he drew his trend line like that. Okay? He connected this swing high to this swing high. So now that we have closed above the price channel, the question is, where do we close today? We know we have resistance here. Our next resistance is the high of March 6th. This rally got stopped dead in its tracks because of the previous bearish cross. Whenever you have a bearish cross that leads to an extended move, first time price revisits the area of the cross, it will most likely be resistance the first time up. The same is true of a bullish cross in the other direction. You can see it here. Bullish cross, price comes back down. Where does it find support? At the area of the bullish cross. You'll also notice that the pullback to the BBC, that's the green line, holds more often than it doesn't. We know eventually price will trade through it. That's what keeps the markets fluid and tradable. So we're building legs to the upside and the pullbacks hold. Building legs to the downside, pullback holds, the pullback holds, the pullback holds. So we overcome the BBC. Now the question is, are we in a deeper pullback to the downside, or have we actually began a leg, a retracement, a leg? Now what typically will happen with a price channel or trend line is once price breaks through it, it will come back to kiss the top of that line and continue higher. This is pretty major resistance, as is this. Could we just rocket up to that trend line? Good. We have to embrace all possibilities. We're above the BBC. It stands for bull-bear cross. When price crosses above it, we're bullish. When price crosses below it, we're bearish. Above it, anticipate higher prices. Below it, we anticipate lower prices. Its companion or sidekick is the CFMA1, which I call blue and climbing, red and falling, blue and climbing, red and falling, for what hopefully are obvious reasons. One is bullish, the other bearish. So institutional traders, they look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. Why? Account size. Institutional accounts are typically in the hundreds of millions and billions of dollars, whereas the typical retail trader has an account denominated in thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. So, in effect, we are the liquidity for the institutions. Doesn't mean we can't trade and trade effectively, but as long as you understand the rules of the game, okay, you can become a consistent trader. So you might be saying, I don't even trade the S&P, and I sure don't trade a daily chart. That's okay. Whatever market you trade, when you sit down to look for trade opportunities, we don't sit down to trade, we sit down to look for trading opportunities. Depends on when you sit down. When you sit down, there might be an opportunity right then. Once you understand that price flows the same across all markets and all time frames, then you have a huge universe of markets to trade. There's all the futures markets, every individual stock, every crypto, every forex. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. Everything I've said about this daily chart is true on a 30-minute chart, on a 5-minute chart. So maybe you trade Walmart or Amazon or Bitcoin, the British pound. Look at the daily chart. See where the institutional money is flowing. And as you drill down to your 30-minute roadmap chart, okay, which is where all the alerts are created from, you'll know which way the wind's blowing. We'll talk about this in more detail tonight in the workshop. So let's go to the 30-minute ES chart. The vertical line separates today, Thursday, from yesterday, Wednesday. This is the window of opportunity we drew in on yesterday's broadcast live in real time. Price came right up to the window and got rejected. Now notice the pullback held, and the pullback held, and the pullback held. The market opened here. This was the opening candle last night. 15 minutes into this 30-minute candle, the CTA numbers came out. Price never got below the BBC until now. And if I weren't on the radio, I'd be putting out a short alert. Back to good window of opportunity. I'm going to get below that low right there. So let's call it 40.62 down to 40.57. It's 5 points, $50 a point, $250 per contract traded. If you've earned the right to trade 10 contracts, then it's $2,500. So you don't start out trading 10 contracts. You start out in sim until you learn the strategy and put together 10 consecutive days in a row where you reach your goal. Only then will the 24/20 blueprint give you the green light to go live with one contract. And then you earn your way up the ladder. Blueprint will tell you when it's time to add contract number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 10. It stops at 20, but by then you have the hang of it. It's called the 24/20 blueprint because it's designed to help you go from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months. You see, we're below the BBC. We got red and falling overhead. So it's only logical that price is going to drop this area of potential support. That's why I drew the window below it, because the next major support area is the weekly trading zone. When price rallies up to a zone, we expect resistance. When price drops to a zone, we expect support. 70% of the time, you'll see this when price hits a zone. Consolidation. Look at how many hours we consolidated there. 20% of the time, you'll see rejection. 10% of the time, you'll see what's called a slice. We're short on time, so I won't go into great detail. But if you've been on the trial and you want to go into detail, you can go to eminifuturestrading.com, become a lifetime member, no recurring fees, so that you can be in that workshop tonight. All right, Michael will be here in a few minutes, so let's move through the rest of the markets. The Dow. We opened, we pulled back to the BBC. Red and falling turned to blue and climbing. What a wonderful opportunity to get your goal for the day. And then some. Just like the ES price has now gotten below the BBC. Above the BBC, we expect higher prices. Below, we expect lower prices. Could we draw in a similar window of opportunity here? We certainly could. I want to get below this swing low right here. Okay. So the ES, we hit the long target. The YM, we hit the long target. Russell, no surprise, we hit the long target. Here's where we open. Price pulled back to the BBC, consolidated for hours. Red and falling turned to blue and climbing. Then you get a leg, a retracement, a leg, hit the target, and then some. Now, I could scroll back if we had time and show you why price stopped here, okay? But I've also already shown you here. See the importance of multiple time frames? From the daily to the 30-minute to the time frame that you actually execute your trades on. So the ES hit the target, the Dow hit the target, the Russell hit the target. What about the NQ? Oh, it hit the target. Here's where the market opened. It pulled back to the BBC. The pullback holds more often than not. Red and falling turned to blue and climbing. Took us right up to the target and more. The S&P is the bellwether. Okay. When the S&P E-mini runs into major supportive resistance, expect the other indices to respond accordingly. Okay, it's very important. Now we're pulling back to the BBC. Question is, we saw in the ES, the Dow, and the Russell that it didn't hold. So is there a window of opportunity here? We didn't draw one in. Sure. And then if we get through the target, you got another one down here. Okay. All right. So NQ hit the target. We're pulling back to the BBC. If this pullback doesn't hold, then you've got a big window of opportunity. Right in here. And then again down here. And at $20 a point, there's enough right there to cover you. Crude oil. Here's where the market opened. Here's where we hit the target the first time. Pull back to the BBC. Bounced, hit it again. Pull back to the BBC. Bounced, hit it again. Why did the market stop there? Now, keep in mind, E-minis, okay, are man-made. We're looking at something God made. There's a finite supply of crude oil. There's an infinite supply of E-minis. Same is true of gold and silver. God made, finite supply. So the resistance established yesterday became the resistance today. Once resistance is defined, it will remain resistance until proven otherwise. Once support is defined, it will remain support until proven otherwise. Keep in mind, these zones were published Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Once they're published, they don't change in any way whatsoever. We're now on the June contract of gold. Gold having a happy dance. We opened below the BBC. So we've got below the BBC, red and falling. So what do we immediately think? Oh, we're going down. We hit the target, spiked the target right to the zone that was published Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern, with a tick. Then we get above the BBC, and we run up to the zone published Monday morning, and we find resistance. We expect that. Get a pullback. Pullback holds more often than not. Sends us back to the zone and to the target. Another pullback to the BBC that holds. Back to the target again. We sliced through this zone. So before we get to the next zone, look for a potential retracement. Back to the zone we sliced through, and then a continuation in the direction of the slice. Now, that is not the highest weekly trading zone for gold. The highest weekly trading zone for gold is all the way up at 2060. The highest and lowest zones are not a prediction that price is going to go there. What we found since 2009, December 14th of 2009, more than 90% of the time, price will close the week out at or below the highest weekly zone, at or above the lowest weekly zone. Every now and then there will be a market. In fact, we've had over the last couple weeks a couple markets that exceeded the highest zone or lowest zone. Silver. Here's where the market opened, came down to the zone, published Monday morning, and found support. Got to make you scratch your head. And then we ran up to the target. A 2-penny move in silver is $100. So once red and falling turned to blue and climbing, say you took an entry at 23.46, and it ran to 23.60. Every 2 pennies is $100 per contract traded. We got through the zone, hit the zone, spiked it, pulled back to the zone, went from zone to zone to zone, back to the zone, back to the zone. And Michael, let me show him this one last one. Euro, okay. Here we opened, got below the BBC, red and falling. Where'd we go? Down to the zone. Market found support at the zone. Remember, that's what we expect. When price drops to a zone, expect support. Had it yesterday. Here, 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 even here. Then we begin the climb to the target. We hit it, pull back, hit it again, hit the zone, traded above the zone. Now we're pulling back, and again, everything revolves around this. Talked about it on the broadcast yesterday. These fibs were drawn from the low of October 13th to the high of February 2nd. So coming down the 24 is support, but back up, resistance. Okay? All right. I leave you in capable hands. Mr. Michael B., take it away.
Here I go. All right. I'm bringing it over. I will begin now. Good afternoon, everyone. Good. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday. Partners meeting tonight at 8 p.m. Thursday, the 30th day of March, 2023. Now, if you've not taken a free trial with us and you want to go here to mytradingIQ and you want to, I got to talk slower because today somebody didn't know what the website was. Go to mytradingiq.com. Mytradingiq.com. Right here, sign up for your free 5-day training, 9:30 to 11:30. All right, if you click on that, you'll be brought to a page where you just fill in a little form, and then you get all the information you need to get into the room in the morning. If you are going to do that much, you should go here and download the trading platform. All right, now you can download whichever one you have. I'm going to show you 2 different platforms today. The DT Pro platform is where I place my trades. I also do some charting on the DT Pro platform. We did use just DT Pro for years, over 10 years, for charting and trading. But since we've kind of moved on to TradingView for the charting, so you can download the TradingView. You don't have to download. You can sign up for the TradingView. Just follow the instructions here and sign up for the TradingView charts. All right, there is no actual download. You just sign up for it, and you can run it on your browser. Okay. I'd recommend doing both of those if you want to. If you want to sign up, if you're going to sign up for the trial. We also have NinjaTrader. You can do charts and trading on NinjaTrader as well. If you have Ninja, again, I would recommend doing your trading with Ninja and your charting over here with TradingView. Okay. That said, let's get into the results. Today was another kind of day. We did have some news come out today, and we have some more news coming out tomorrow. And the big news is going to be next week. The first week of the month is usually the big news month, big news week of every month. This month is no different. Today, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom, is the 30th day of March 2023. Made 20 ticks in the NQ, 34 ticks. This was the Russell. This was not the YM. This was the Russell this morning. And 16 ticks on the ES. That put us at plus 470 on the morning session. Today it took 8 minutes and 3 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up at $750. We took a total of 18 trades this morning. So on the month, we are at $17,000 even on the month. That is with one contract, 2 hours per day. That's over 22 days. It's a long month. That's why March last year was our best month of the year last year. I don't know if this is going to be our best month, but it's a good month. So far this year, it's our best month. It's actually a combination of the other months. If you look down here, the other 2 months, well, this is if I quit trading when I got my goal. Over here, the other 2 months were just about $15,000 altogether. And we still have a day left. Anyway. So we're at $17,000 over 22 days, averaging $772 per contract per 2-hour business day. We've gotten our goal in 60 out of 61 days so far this year, and we've gone 30 days since our last non-green day. 408 business days since our last red day. On the year now, that puts us at $31,800 a contract over 61 days, averaging $521 per contract per 2-hour trading day. If you were to quit trading when you get your goal for the day and you were to add one contract per month, just be consistently profitable, and you'll be able to add one contract per month until you're comfortable not adding more contracts. You might be happy making 10 grand a month trading just a couple hours. It's 177 minutes so far this month we've traded to make $9,700 with 3 contracts. That's a little over 2 hours. It's pretty good money for 2 hours worth of work. Anyway, we were averaging, well, now so far this year we are averaging $1,183 per hour if we quit trading and we had one contract. Well, we had $2,000 a month or one contract per month. Okay, so if you want to do all that, sign up for the trial, get started. Now we'll get into the actual trades we did. Gold will be a quick one today because we only had one trade. I did run into a little bit of a problem this morning. It seems like my computer's just been hanging up. It's been slow to react. Here was our one trade on gold. It was right here. We had a break even. See, it started out all flat right through here in the pre-market. We took this trade right at the open, had a break even. Then it got all flat again. Then it started to move in here, but we didn't take any trades. And it was moving pretty nicely. The leg lengths were pretty steady going up. Everything was doing pretty well. Then it made a deeper leg length, the pullback right here. The pullback leg length was deeper than the push-up leg length. So it got sideways a little bit after that. Finally put in another higher swing over here. Gave a trade right here you could have taken if you wanted to. But that was during the break. And there was another trade right here during the break and another trade right here during the break. So the triggers have been happening really well in the right places. If you just look at where they happened, at the bottom of the swings on each one of those, except for this one right over here. But we only got the one trade, one break-even trade on the gold. Okay, now we traded the Russell today, which is kind of new for us. I mean, it's not brand new, like we've never traded it before, but we haven't traded in a really long time in the room. And we had some pretty good trades with it. I was actually even able to use it during the training portion of it, of the morning. Our first trade on the Russell was right in here. I believe we picked up 10 ticks on the very first trade. Then there were some more trades that triggered in here that I didn't get, and I got a break even on that one. Then we got 5 ticks on the next trade, which was right here. Then the next one after that, we got 9 ticks right there. That was a huge trade right there when that happened. We got 9 ticks on that. And this one right here was a bounce off of, I think on a larger time frame, this was a bounce off of the BBC on a 30-minute. I think is where that came in. And then it broke through it on the pullback, and it just pushed down off of it. So we got 9 ticks on that trade, and then we got 10 more ticks on this one to get us to 34. Then we had 8 ticks on this one to get us to 42, and then 2 ticks to get us to 44, and then somewhere in here we had some more there that I didn't put in, and somewhere in here we stopped out on the Russell. I didn't write it down, but we stopped out on the Russell. We had a -10 tick in here too. I think it was in here somewhere. We had a -10 tick, but nevertheless, we ended with +34 on the Russell. I know we had the stop out, so we had a -10 in there. I just put the red arrow in. During the break, the Russell still gave some more short trades. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here. This is the only one that would have stopped out so far. You wouldn't have taken this. I don't even know why this is a short trade. I mean, a long trade. That should not even be a long trade. I don't know why that triggered right there. I got to check that. The long-term direction is clearly not up. It's clearly not bullish, so I'm not sure why that triggered right there. Anyway, it's pretty flat in here. The thing with this is the Russell is new to us, so I got to check the no trade zones and make sure that they're set right. I set them kind of haphazardly last night, apparently. Yeah, see, the no trade zones are kind of narrow. I think we should have gotten a no trade zone all through here, and definitely shouldn't have gotten a long trade there. I don't know what the heck was going on with that. So to change that, we go down here to the inputs and we add something here. I thought I had the Russell at 0.05 last night is what I thought. I must have changed it at some point. There you go. 0.05 is what I thought I had that at. That would have taken out all those trades that were questionable. Anyway, that was the Russell today. We ended up with +34 ticks on the Russell. Okay. And now the ES, it's 12:55, so I have 5 minutes left. On the ES, we'll go back to the beginning. These were the numbers I was thinking it was going to get down to earlier on. And you see it finally got down to this one, and it hasn't made it all the way down to this one yet. But earlier on, that's what I was thinking when it started doing that retracement of the bigger move down. That's yesterday. Here we go. Okay, so our first trade here on the ES, we picked up 4 ticks. And then our next trade here on the ES, we picked up 12 ticks. And that got us to +16. And that was where we stopped trading with the ES. There was a lot of flat space in here on the ES too. You can see in here. It finally did start moving down here, but that was during the break. Okay, and it gave a couple of nice trades. Well, one here, one back here, and that was it. This one really didn't put in much of a lower swing, so I probably wouldn't have done that little move right there. Okay. Let's go now to the NQ. Now, I didn't trade the NQ as much as I normally do either. I think Russell, well, we did some other things. I'll show you really quickly some other things that we did, that we put together, that we had put together in the morning session today. Now, if you're listening, that was right around 10:30 in the morning session. We're going to want to clip that out. It was how to set up the automated stop to break even stuff. We did that. It was right around 10:30 this morning, a little before 10:30 this morning. Anyway, right here was our first trade on the NQ, and that was our first trade of the day on the NQ. We picked up 40 ticks on that one. That's where we got our goal for the day. Then the next trade was right here. We stopped out -20 ticks. Then we had a break even, and we picked up 8 ticks to get us to 28. Then 12 ticks to get us back to 40. Then something here I didn't put in. I think, I don't know why I thought it was a break even, but then we stopped out again. We went from 40 back down to 20 right here. Then I don't think we traded it anymore. Had some really nice moves right here, but I think I was training then. We were going over all that stuff. Nope, got one more trade. This was right at the end. I think I got 12 ticks on that one at the end. I know I didn't write that down. Then during the break, let's see, there was a short here that would have stopped you out. A short here that would have been a break even, but I don't think I would have even taken it. This would have worked out. This would have worked out. This would have been a break even. This would have worked out. And this would have worked out. And that was it, really, on the NQ. We didn't have a ton of trades there, just enough. The one thing that we did do this morning was we went through how to actually get in here and create an automated trailing stop. So I created one for a 7 range, for a 10 range, and a 16 range. So if you go here to trading platforms and you go to trade rules, I'm sorry, you go here to mytradingiq.com and you go to trade rules. Right here I have the risk management for all of these different stops. You know, for its 7-tick range bar, you have a 10-tick stop that trails to break even after 4 ticks in profit. For a 10-tick range, you have a 15-tick stop that trails to break even after 6 ticks. For a 16-tick range, you have a 20-tick stop that trails to break even after 8 ticks in profit. And for a 20-tick range, you have a 25-tick stop that trails to break even after 10 ticks in profit. What I did right there, let me bring that back over and slide this over. With that DOM, let me find that DOM again, hold it. Which DOM was it? It was gold, right? Yeah, what I did with the DOM in here is I created this thing that is an automatic stop trailing thing. So if I put an order on right here, see how it's just really faint in there? That means it's automated. If I uncheck this, then it'll put on like it normally does. But that means if I get filled up here, it's going to put my stop down here and it's going to automatically trail it after I get, well, because it's a 7-tick range after I get 4 ticks in profit. Now if I undo this and I put my order on up there, then you see how dark it is right there, the normal way that I do it. Okay. But that was for a 7-tick range, and with a 16-tick range, if I put the order on way up here with this checked, with that highlighted, if I put the order on way up here, see my stop is way down here. It'll move to break even after I get 8 ticks in profit. We set all that up this morning. So if you guys want to go back and review that, you're going to have to let us know, and we'll find the video that is created for that. All right, so it is 12:59. We're going to jump into the live stream right now. To get into the live stream, you go here. You go here to TradingView.com, scroll down to upcoming streams. Go to community, live streams, and scroll down to upcoming streams. It's down at the bottom. Ours looks like this right here. Scroll down to that, click on that, and then be jumping into the live stream with me right now. And so that's where I'm going right now. I'm going over to the live stream on this side. And I am ready to hit start stream over there. Okay. So that stream is almost live. There it is. Okay, that stream is live now. All right, so here we are right now. This over here is the NQ. All right, that's on a 16-tick range right here. This is the ES that is on a 7-tick range. This is the Russell that is on a 7-tick range, and this is gold also on a 7-tick range. All right, so for anybody who's in here right now, what we are looking for is the long-term trend. Well, to show you some direction here, like here on gold, the long-term trend is these outer bands right here. Okay, if they're going up and they're separated, you have a decent long-term trend. There was already a trigger in here to go long. It's too late to do anything right now. If they're going down like this and they're separated, then you have a decent downtrend. If they're flat like this right here on the Russell, and they're flat like this over here on the NQ, then you don't have a trend. So you want to wait. All right, now as people start to jump in here on the live stream, I am going to remind you all, if you want to take a free trial with us, just go to mytradingiq.com and sign up for the free trial there. I just put the link in there for you. Sign up for the free trial there. It's a pretty easy thing. There's no credit card required or anything like that. All you have to do is give us your name and email, and we'll send you all the information you need to get into the room. The free trial runs from 9:30 to 11:30 every business day. Okay, and you get to sit in it for 5 of them if you take the free trial. when you take the free trial, you also get access to the indicators, right? That's the only way you're going to get access to the indicators. If you take a free trial, or you actually you join with us. That's the only way you're going to get access to the indicators. So all you have to do is give us your TradingView username, and we can enable you right away, right? So also, if you want to follow us, so you'll be notified when we do events like this, just follow us in TradingView. Okay, and then you'll also be one of the first. You'll be notified whenever I do a change. If I do any kind of a change to the software or anything like that, you'll be notified right away when that happens. Right, you get some kind of little message over here that says, "Check that." Hey, serious. The morning session was pretty good. Our first couple of trades were profitable, and because it's the third month, we had 3 contracts on, and so we're up $750 after like 8 minutes this morning. So it was pretty good. We met the goal for the day in the first 8 minutes, and that's really where we want to be. We want all of you guys to get in there and get your goal for the day, and then stop trading. That's where we want you to be. Okay. So I got to type that in, so people that are just reading will see it, and anybody that's not actually listening, they're just reading. Anyway, we're waiting for a trade setup here right now. The long-term direction here is flat. The long-term direction here is bearish, but we're trading above the BBC. This is not overbought, so we're not going to get a trade set up yet. The long-term direction here is still kind of flat on the Russell. We need to move up a little bit higher, get up above this level right here. That'll convince us that we might want to keep moving up. And over here on gold, the long-term direction is bullish, but we should have put in a higher swing on this last move right here. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Okay. And I spelled goal wrong. Okay, well, typing it in there anyway. Yeah, I can't, once I type something in on this, I can't go back and edit it. It's in there for good. That's the live stream. But actually, it's pretty much anywhere right now, except Telegram. Telegram's the only place.
We'll dock your check for that.
Yes. 1 day's dock per typo. That would be rough on me. A lot of typos I have.
Thank God for spell checkers.
All right. Yeah, I know. I wish. Well,
I know.
How many typos did I have in that one right there? 1, 2, just 2.
Just 2.
One. Okay. Good, serious. Well, you know what, serious. If you get started today or tomorrow or whatever, the actual trial, you get all week next week if you start now. Okay, so it's not gonna hurt you to start now. Okay, that goes for anybody who's in here who's listening in the live stream. If you start the trial now, you'll get all week next week too, because it's just Thursday. And for everybody who's listening who may actually be a partner or a passport holder, it is Thursday. Every Thursday night we have a partners meeting at 8 p.m. If you have any questions you want to cover in the partners meeting, it'd be great to email them into us ahead of time. You can email them to support@mytradingiq.com or support@cfrn.net. Either one. Okay. Still waiting for something to happen here. This kind of happened yesterday too. We don't want to trade when there's nothing to trade. So, yesterday I traded twice, and they were both valid trades, but the markets were just not moving. We really did have some pretty good markets this morning. I think the markets are kind of topping out here. Again, they're feeling a little bit toppy toward the end of the week. And it is the last day of the month, the last day of the quarter, the last day of the week tomorrow. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. None of that really means anything, in my world. I trade what's in front of me, and if it's going flat like this, then I don't trade anything. But we can talk about things. Like, well, one of the things you note that we have the Russell going right here. Now I put the Russell on because the Russell is on the CME, the ES is on the CME, the NQ is on the CME. They're all on the same exchange. I did have the YM up there. That's on the CBOT, and I had the crude oil up there. I'm going to probably put crude back up, but I just wanted to throw the Russell up there this morning because I had a meeting with one of our people last night, and she wanted to see the Russell to see how it traded in the room in the morning. So I just replaced the crude oil with the Russell for today, just so she could see that it trades. Yes, the partners meeting tonight is at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, but you have to be a partner to get into that. Okay, you have to be an active partner or passport holder to get into that. And yeah, members only workshop. And that's an opportunity for people to, for anybody who's new or anybody who's been here for a long time, to go over stuff. Like, I think tonight, one of the things we'll be going over is one of the things I just went over a few minutes ago. In the DOMs and all these DOMs, I created a thing today with the help of Bert, our broker. I created a thing today to put an automatic trailing stop for a 10 range, a 7 range, and a 16 range chart. So all I have to do is put the order on, like on the Russell right here. If I put the order on up here, now it's a 7 range chart, so I'm putting the order on here with the 7 range auto trailing stop. And what that does is after it triggers, after I get an entry, it's going to put my stop 10 ticks away. And then after I get 4 ticks in profit, it's automatically going to move my stop to break even for me. Okay, and then I can grab it and trail it manually from there. But that's something that I'm sure we're probably going to discuss in the meeting tonight, because after all these years, I've never done that until today. And it's been since like 2005. I've never done that until today. I don't know what inspired me today, but anyway, it's done. And so, like for the NQ, there was just a trade around the NQ that I didn't do because it's still kind of sideways right here. I want to see it get up above this level, and then I'll start trading the NQ. But on the NQ, the same thing. This is a 16 tick range, so I got the 16 range checked. And if I put my order on up here, now my stop is all the way down here at 20 ticks away. And this goes 8 ticks in profit. I'm going to cancel that before it fills me. When that goes 8 ticks in profit, it'll bump it up to break even. I think I did that correctly this morning. But I'm sure people are going to want to discuss that tonight. And I will have to make sure I figure out how I did it, or watch the video, watch the video again. Hopefully Val will be able to get that video cut out by the meeting tonight, because people are going to be wanting that. And we can just stick it out in our Telegram channels. And we can say, go to Telegram. It's out there.
We can stick the entire morning broadcast in the Telegram channel.
We can, and have them forward. Well, we do already do that, but the people that are in the live stream didn't hear what Dwayne just said. He said we can put the whole morning broadcast in the Telegram channel, and we do that to give access to the people who are on the trial. If they miss a day in the trial, they can go back and watch the things that happened. Pretty much everything we do is recorded. Like what I'm doing here right now is recorded in 3 different places right now. Let's see. This is another long arrow right here. Now it's given the long arrow because the long-term direction is bullish, and we came out of the oversold right here. The black is not in the red, so it's a long-term arrow. I mean, it's an up arrow. But we didn't continue the trend right here or right here. That's why I wasn't really interested in either one of these right now. We're just going sideways right here. I want to continue the trend and get out of the sideways chop. Okay. So knowing when to trade is just as important as knowing when not to trade. Or knowing when not to trade is just as important as knowing when to trade. And this is when not to trade. All right, so over here I have these no trade zones on. I'm going to shut those off. Oops, those are in here. They are in here. Come on, off. There it goes. Okay. Now the no trade zones are still there. You just can't see them. No trade zones are areas where it will not print arrows. Right, the areas that you should really just not trade, where the long-term trend has gone flat, and you should just not trade. Just like this one right here. If we had gotten in on this one we would have gotten some profit. But this one right here, we'd gotten a break even at best. Okay. So just waiting. Again, if you're in here and you're following us in the live stream, if you don't follow us on TradingView, you won't be notified when we do these things. Just hit the follow button on TradingView and start to follow us if you want to. We're starting to get a little move up here on the NQ now. See how we didn't get the arrow on this one? It's because it didn't come out of the result. And I want to see you get up above this level. I want to see you get up above 64, close up above that level, preferably up above here. If we look at this on a little bit bigger picture, you see how it's topping out right here. The legs up got bigger. I mean, and right here, the leg back got bigger. The leg up got smaller. The leg back got bigger. The leg up smaller. The leg back bigger. So now the leg up and the leg back is what you're looking at. This is gold, but but anyway, it's the same thing, the same theory. On the NQ, we'll go here, and we're looking for this to actually go long, with the gold to go down. But see right here, the legs just stopped exceeding the swing highs, the swing lows. So you just don't want to trade when it's like that. Give it a break. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to look at an equity, crypto, Forex, ETFs, any other symbol? I'd be happy to throw on any one of these charts right now because we really have nothing happening right here in futures. Is there something moving in here? Click on that. Yeah, this one's up 3%. That's sugar. Sugar's moving. What is this one? Zoom. Zoom's up 2.7%. What's this one? This is a currency. No, it's Carnival. Okay, Carnival is up 3%. Okay, let's just go look at Zoom. I think it's just Zoom, right? Yeah. ZM. Here it is. And this is what it looks like on a 7 range. But if we spread that out, and we put it on, what are we talking about? 70 something. So we'll make each bar worth a quarter. There. Okay, so now each bar is worth a quarter. So you can see right here, it got sideways, it pulled down into the ribbon right here. You had all these arrows right here saying to go long out of the sideways mess right here. And that was yesterday. It said to go long yesterday, and if you did go long there yesterday at 70.5, you're up $2 right now from where it said to go long yesterday. If you waited until today, you're only up $1 from where it said to go long. Okay, that is Zoom. How do I determine what range bars to use? That's a fair question. Does it work with crypto as well? Yes, it does. Let's look at Bitcoin. Oops. Bitcoin. Okay, that's Bitcoin futures. We don't look at that. Let's look at Bitcoin crypto. Okay, and we'll look at the one right here on the US dollar. And we can't, because that is such a large dollar amount, you can't do that on the 25 range. That's going to answer your question a little bit there, Steve, the hedge. Based upon how big the dollar amount is and how much volatility it has, that's the range that you would have to, that determines what the range is. Like for Bitcoin, each bar right here is $5. It's I don't know that it's $5 for Bitcoin, but each bar right here is 500 ticks. Okay, so I guess it is. So you would, it's got a short right here. It's saying to go short, and what I would anticipate is it's going to get down to this level right here at 218.12, at 28.212, 28.12. Sorry, my numbers are all backwards. 28.212 is what it looks like. It's probably going to go down to. And if you want to look at it on a larger time frame than that, because Bitcoin it's in the 28,000 range as opposed to the 100 range or 200 range or the normal things. You can come over here and see earlier today on a larger time frame on a suggested shorting right up here at 28,232, and from there it ran down all the way down to 28,212. So yes, you can use it on crypto. You can use it on whatever you want, and see the range bar number that you determine is based on the volatility and in the actual price. The bigger the price, usually the bigger the volatility. Like this one right here, just had a huge move down. So what I said a second ago over here on the 500 just happened. Let's go back here to the 500. Okay, so a second ago gave us this short right here, and I said, look, at least get down to here, and it just got all the way down to there. So that was a huge move that you would have been on top of right there. And I'm just looking at gold. Gold's not giving us a trade yet. MQ's not giving us anything yet, so we probably don't have anything. There's nothing here on the ES yet either, so the futures just aren't giving us anything right now. So we just take this look here at crypto. So Bitcoin suggested short here at 28,223. I'm going to write this down, and I'll type it in later. 28,223. And we were saying 28,212. And it actually ran all the way down to 28,149. Now we haven't placed a trade yet because nothing's said to place a trade. Here's another one right here. Now it's suggesting a short again right here at 28,177. And that is suggesting it's going to go down here to 28,148. And we'll see where it goes. The stop on that would have to be probably, I would put it up here at 28,190, 198, maybe 28,199 is where I'd put that stop. And this is the prior swing high over here. It's possible that it could be just right up above this bar here that would do okay, but I would put it a little above the prior swing high. It's got this gap right here. I don't know if you really fill gaps with crypto, but it's got this gap right here that it probably wants to fill up too. And there it is. So that would have just stopped you out, or it's right at where I would have put the stop right there. Anyway, there, that would have stopped you there. Now with crypto or whatever it is that you're gonna be trading, you gotta look at this. It was one thing today that somebody asked about. It was the euro. Okay, so oops, hang on. Let's go back here. We'll click on this and the 6E. And we'll go to futures, and that is this one right here. And we'll look at that on the M contract. And that cannot be on a 500 range. That would be back here on the 7 range. And you can see here the euro would be trading, and that was a big move. But the euro would be trading just like everything else. You'd be trading off the ribbon right here. You're looking for all the same things, but you're not getting any arrows in here. And why aren't you getting any arrows? Well, because the decimal point is way out here. So you got to change the sensitivity. So you might ask, how do I know what to set the sensitivity to? Well, come down here and turn on the no trade zone and see what the no trade zone is showing right now with the way you have it. There it is. You have the sensitivity set right now to not allow any arrows. Okay, so right now by default, the sensitivity is set to actually 0.35, and this was for the Russell, it was 0.05. But for this, because it's got so many decimal points, that might be a little closer. Okay, that might be too much. Let me take one of those zeros off. There we go. All right, so that's roughly where you'd want to have it set to. Now, that question came up this morning in the room this morning, and I never got around to answering it. So what did I set that to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.000005 is what I have it set to right there. And I'm not sure that that's the best thing, but what it is supposed to identify is when the long-term direction is flat. And it looks to be doing a pretty good job of that. It's going to let you trade when it's not flat, when you have a trend, and it's going to stop you from trading when you don't have a trend. Okay, that means it's not going to put any arrows in for you when you don't have a trend. Like right here, you don't have a trend. Okay, so I may need to, maybe that's not sensitive enough because it still gave a couple arrows right here when you had no trend at all. So that is how you would determine what it needs to be. So I said 0.00005, and it might be 0.0000. If you make this take off that and that, make that a 1. Let's see what that did to it. So maybe it's even less than that. There you go. All right, so maybe that. This is what you'd have to do for whatever market you're trading on. You'd have to do it until you're comfortable that it's giving you no trade zones where you think there should be no trade zones. Like right here where the long-term direction is flat. You don't want to trade. You only want to trade when it's like this. Okay, so I don't know, what did I come up with on that? Because I know the person that asked that this morning is going to want to know tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros and a 6. And that's for the euro. Okay. Let's go back here. We still don't have any trades going here for the futures. This is the closest thing we have to a trade right here on the gold right now. I hesitate to take the trade because in the bigger picture, if we look at the gold in a little bit bigger picture right here, let's do that. We're in an uptrend, and this is a pullback in the uptrend. Okay, so how far back is it going to pull in the uptrend? I don't know, but it hasn't had a decent pullback in a while, and the last time it had a pullback was right here, and it was just a weak little pullback. All right, so I mean, it's a trade setup. Yes, it's a trade setup. What would you anticipate? You'd anticipate that it's going to get down below this swing low right here, below this level right here, and this is going to get down into the oversold. That's what you anticipate. So here it is. Now throw the stop at break even after you get 4 ticks in profit. Look, I didn't have the automated thing on there. If I had the automated thing, I would have done that automatically. That's the thing. You got to have this thing checked, like that, highlighted to turn it on. Okay, so now we're just going to lock in. What is that? 5 ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 ticks. It should go now that it's showing a little bit more. It should go all the way down to 1996.0. 7 ticks. Could take 10 right here, and then we'd have something anyway. Come on, push down. Gold is one of those markets that, once it gets going, it just likes to stay in that direction. But we're at 7 ticks right here. And let's see if it goes. Nope, 7 ticks. All right, so that was the one trade so far, and this did get down to the bottom here. So now it's time for that to probably pull back up. Okay. Let's see. Do we have anything else going on here? Oops. Slide this back over this way. No, that was wrong too. Do it this way. There it goes. Okay. Any of the markets giving us trades? This is the euro now, so let me go to the end. The euro hasn't given us anything. The ES hasn't given us anything, and the NQ hasn't given us anything.
The judge had a question for you. I don't know if you saw it.
Judge, okay. Nope, I didn't. Sorry, I'm not looking at that stream right now. Here it is.
Here comes the judge.
Okay. Question on that. The trade numbers I post, is that based on trading multiple markets or just one? The trade numbers that I post in the spreadsheet, do you mean? You know, when I post stuff in here, it's generally about stuff that I've done in here, unless there's nothing getting done in here. Like the stuff that I posted earlier about what happened this morning, that I started out, you know, we met the goal in 8 minutes. That was this morning. That was, I traded 3 contracts with 2 markets to get that result in 8 minutes this morning. But this, you can see, was just with 1 contract, and it was 1 market. But the stuff that I put in the spreadsheet that I can't show to you guys right now, but it's right here. On the month, I can tell you about it. I can't show it to you. But on the month, we're up $17,000 a contract in the spreadsheet for the month of March. And that's trading 2 hours a day. That's trading the multiple markets. That's all the markets together. Okay. Everything it's all the markets together, but it's all 1 contract in any kind of video that you might have seen. Okay, the question is, it is multiple markets usually, but, oops, try to spell it right, but only 1 contract. Okay. Type it in, so if people come back and read this later, they won't hear the audio part of it. If they're just reading it, they can see that, right? So the NQ gave a little bit of a short right here. Now it is a valid short. Long-term duration is down. We came out of the oversold. It's valid short. I want to see it push down some more before I actually jump into it, though. The euro gave the same thing back here. It gave this short here, and then it gave another one right here. The gold one, you saw we did just take that for 7 ticks, right? 1 gold for 7 ticks. This I did have on the Russell. If I put this back to the Russell, let me do that. Put it back to the Russell, and that probably gave us a trade here too. Now you're not going to have arrows on this one because I just changed the thing. It's 0.00006. Let me write that down. 0.00006. Okay, so what we have for the Russell though is 0.05. Okay, and you see now we have arrows in the Russell right there. And so we're waiting for something decent to happen, and it's 1:30. You don't chase the trades. That is the statement that was just typed in. I do appreciate how you do not chase trades. The deal with trades, first of all, there's always going to be another trade, right? And second, if you get into a trade, if you have a trade opportunity that happens that you don't get filled on, like even if I wanted to take this trade and I had my sell stop limit order. Was it 2 p.m.? Oh yeah, thanks. That's right, it is 2 p.m. Crap. Okay, even if I wanted to get into this trade, thanks for the reminder. Even if I wanted to get into this trade and I missed it, it's already gone 8 ticks into profit. So if it's already gone to the point where I would put my stop at break even, then I just cancel the trade, right? Because I don't want to try to get into the trade. If I missed it and it's already gone to that point, I would have been trying to get my stop to break even or get out of the trade with profit if I had gotten into the trade. So I don't want to get into the trade after it's already done the minimum of what I expect out of the trade. So I just wait for another trade. There's always going to be another trade. Over here on gold, we just had a second one. On the NQ, we've gone down low enough now for me to want to take another trade if it pulls back, but we run out of time. All right, so tomorrow is Friday. I do have a lesson plan. Okay, so yeah, let me blow this up. This is what our lesson plan looks like, okay, on a daily basis for the training in the morning. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday is just trading. Okay, so if you come in tomorrow, that's great. But normally every day I give like 10:15 to 11 is just training, where I'm focused more on training than actually trading. 9:15 to 9:30, it's not actually 9:15, it's like 9:20 to 9:30. I try to get in there a little bit early, so anybody that's brand new, I can just go over things, basic things about the charts. All right. Then on Mondays, I go over bar types, range charts, tick value, different charting platforms. Some basic stuff, but important stuff you need to know. And then we get into a little bit more detail on day 2, something about the indicators, and then more stuff about the indicators on day 3, more stuff about the indicators in trading. Then the DOM and the weekly trading zones, we start to get away from the indicators just a little bit and into the actual functionality, the physical stuff you have to do to place the trades. That was today. And then tomorrow, Friday, we just like to trade. 9:30 to 11, just trading. And then 11 to 11:25, we'll go over any questions that you have. But really, I go over questions the whole time. But that's the lesson plan. Okay. So anybody that signs up for the trial today, you'll get all that tomorrow. All the other stuff, you know, if you don't get it right away tomorrow, I don't expect you're going to get it tomorrow or even in a week. But don't be intimidated by it, and don't be overwhelmed by it, right? Because there's going to be a lot of things going on. You know, what I'm doing in here, you know, you've seen it. If you've come to a few of these and you've seen it when it's active in here, then that's pretty good. But there's not as many people in here as there are in the room in the morning. And so answering the questions like I have to in the morning, it's a little, you know, for me, it's a little slower paced because I'm not limited to 30 minutes. I have 2 hours in the morning. But I still have a lot that I want to do every day. So take the free trial and go to mytradingiq.com, sign up for the free trial there, right? And get in there. And if you get in tonight, you'll have all week next week too. Now tomorrow, we get the indicators. If you have a TradingView, we'll get the indicators set up for you today. And you'll have them tonight, tomorrow, over the weekend, and be ready to go all week next week. All right. That is it, guys. So I had that 1 7-tick trade on gold today. We had the one thing that happened with the Bitcoin that we showed you, and that's it. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap it up for this session because I have something I got to be at in 26 minutes. And if anybody has any questions, you can email support@mytradingiq.com or support@cfrn.net. All right. So stopping the live stream. We'll see you all tomorrow. Dwayne, passing it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
I'd be ready.
Excellent. There it is.
Okay, the recap of the morning session.
Today, 8 minutes, 3 trades, $750.
Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. I know some of you think I just have a fetish for the daily chart, but I hope today really shows you with some clarity. If you trade the indices, S&P, Dow, Russell, and Q. Talked about this yesterday. If we closed above the price channel, the next spot we would look to run into resistance is at the 24% retracement. Now, most people, these fibs were drawn from the low of October 13th to the high of February 2nd. So people tend to think that, okay, well, that just shows me areas where I'm going to find support on the way down. No, it also shows you where you're going to likely find resistance. The market starts to move back up. Okay, and that's about as to the tick as you can get. If you missed yesterday's broadcast, you can watch it at youtube.com/CFRN. And we talked about this very scenario, and lo and behold, it's unfolding right before our eyes. On the ES, we haven't made it quite down to that window of opportunity I drew in just yet. Coming close. Dow came right to the top of the window, caught a bounce. That's okay. We're printing a red candle. We still anticipate price coming down to the zone. Price is always trying to get to a zone. Russell, we've made it partway through that window. And we have another window down here below the actual target. And we are headed for the target right now. In Q, we did not get below the BVC. We're getting below it. So far, the pullback held on this 30-minute candle, held on this 30-minute candle. But because we have red and falling overhead, this will probably be one of those times. The pullback holds more often than not, over and over. But eventually, it will trade through the BBC. That's what keeps markets good and tradable. Crude still just trolling sideways. Gold. Oh, I talked about the slice, and I said watch for price to retrace back to the zone it sliced through and continue in the direction of the slice. I said that earlier in the broadcast. See, the markets move in a logical manner. If you're new to trading, it just looks like chaos and it makes no sense. When you become a lifetime member, we're going to teach you how to read a chart the same way you read a newspaper, or better yet, even a mystery novel. You wake up each day not worrying about whether you're going to get your goal or not, because once you understand how price flows, of course you are. But each day you get to unravel the mystery. The price does exactly the same thing every day in a slightly different way. But remember, price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. Support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. It's a never-ending cycle. Silver sitting on top of the zone. We sliced it through, pulled back, now looking to continue in the direction of the slice. Euro is sitting here at support at the zone. Now, support, 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 support. A little consolidation there. We publish the zones Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Once you know how to use them, will become one of the most important tools in your trading toolbox. Now, a very likely scenario is that price continues down to kiss the top of this price channel. It's called a Trader Vic because a guy named Vic wrote a book, and he showed us how this happens quite often in the market. Okay, so it wouldn't be surprising to see price come down, kiss the top of the channel, and then continue. Or the other option is this whole thing's a head fake. You'll know it's a head fake if price gets below blue and climbing. But right now we're positioned for a move higher, but we could drop a little bit first. So to become a lifetime member with no recurring fees, no upsells, no new shiny objects to buy from us ever, go to eminifuturestrading.com. Right here. 2 mouse clicks, you become a lifetime member. It means you have access to everything that we do, including the Thursday night members only workshop. You'll become involved with the discussion group in Telegram. We got about 10 different channels in Telegram. You'll get to know our traders, those that have been with us for many years. They've learned the exact same strategy that you're going to learn. They use the exact same indicators that you're going to use. Everybody is on the same page. With most trading rooms, you can't even get everybody in the same book. Here, everybody's on the same page. And that really is important. Trading can be a lonely business. Sometimes you need a shoulder to lean on. Sometimes you need a shoulder to cry on. And sometimes you just need somebody to give you a virtual high five. We got it all. Let's wrap it up with a good word for the day. If that's okay with you. Now, today I want to speak to single parents. We know there's a whole lot of single moms out there. I think I talked about that yesterday even. But there's a lot of single dads too. Psalm 35. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes in the morning. One marriage expert says a single mother sent him a story that helped explain the loneliness and stress often faced by those raising children alone. She said she was looking out of her window one drizzly day and saw a mother robin and her little ones perched in a nest. As the rain poured down, the mother bird covered her chirping chicks beneath her extended wings. Then the hail began to fall. Instead of tucking her head safely in the nest, the mother robin raised her head upward and took the blows to protect her young. All of the chicks made it safely through the storm. What a graphic illustration of the challenges of single parenting. The responsibility of raising kids alone is unrelenting, requiring a mom or dad to earn a living, cook, clean, supervise homework, take care of sick kids, soccer, tennis, ballet, and so on. Beyond these day-to-day duties, they must figure out how to meet their own personal and spiritual needs. Taken in context, this may be one of the most toughest assignments on earth. Single parents, whether mothers or fathers, need our continued support and prayers. I want you to think about the single parent you know in your life. You may know more than one. Think about how you can help them, because their struggles are far different than a two-parent family. To those who are taking the blows on behalf of their children, be assured better days are coming. The storm you're in won't last forever. A beautiful rainbow will eventually appear. When the job has been completed and a brood of healthy little birds has been raised, there will be sweet benefits for the parents who don't fly away. God's word promises this. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes in the morning. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.